Hope I don't crash. Yes, now we are actually live. Hello, everyone. My name is Kiray Vacuo, and I am your host and your voice with a voice. Here's to may or may not teach you guys about Australian cultures.
Well, maybe let's culture more what happened and why we are now subservient to a creature.
And all right, let's let you guys introduce yourself too. I think Reich first.
Sure. Hi everyone. I'm Reich now. So, Aussie YouTuber, Commander of the Grand Army. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, sorry, I was going to yawn. Hi, I'm Ryu, Space Witch, Space VTuber, yada yada yada, also Australian. Boom.
So we have like an Australian to actually to confirm the fact that yes, you guys did can give some input about this particular story that is about emu, which is your national bird. Yeah, it's a funny thing I find out is actually emu is the national bird of Australia.
Yeah, it's one of our two coat of arms animals.
At first, I thought it was cassowary, and then I was like, "Oh, it's not. It's like."
I thought it was a magpie.
Magpie?
Wait, what?
What's a magpie? Oh,
it's a bird.
Yeah, it's a bird.
We don't talk about magpies. No, they're very annoying birds. They attack people a lot.
yeah. Australia have a lots of unique animals. So every single time you guys can put out a name, I will be like, huh? like you say eagle, any different type of eagle. That's like a end of the name. There's an eagle there, but but if you're going to say one animal name in Australia, it's a completely new thing.
I think we do have our own kind of eagle as well.
I think so, yeah. I can't remember what.
Yeah. Definitely have your every time you see your own thing. And then how much do you guys know about emu?
I know a bit about them. I've hunted them before.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Experienced war veteran. Maybe you joined the emu war
You
before.
were there.
You were there with a machine gun.
So ashamed of our defeat.
Now I would just dig through the past and give you the PTSD again about the emu war.
Oh, no.
Okay, and here it says in the descriptions of the emu is the emu is one of the most famous animal in Australia, and it's a tail flightless bird, which is tall flightless bird, not tail. Second in height to the ostrich. Is it that tall?
Yeah, they're pretty tall. They can get to over 5 foot for sure. I think they probably even up to 6 foot.
Yeah, I seen ostrich before. If this is second to ostrich, it's very big, and then there's a big herd of them too, right? Usually.
Yeah, they tend to get around in groups. Yeah.
Yeah, it's imagine go
groups, big groups.
Yeah, imagine go in front of them. It's scary. Are they aggressive?
Not particularly. They tend to run away more than run at people.
Later in the video, it will make sense a lot when you say that. And yeah, it's said that it's actually have they have a very long, powerful leg, and then free forward facing toe, but no hind toe. Most emu are seen along the roadside. Have you ever seen the emu on the roadside before, you guys?
Yes.
How about you?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
You haven't seen one before?
Have you never seen an emu, Ryu?
Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, shut. Introvert never goes out of their house, so never have the chance to see one.
True. Hard to see emus if you never leave your bedroom, right?
Like imagine like an emu just like invade like in your not into your house, like outside your house, like you look at the window, like an emu is just there staring at you.
It's more likely to happen with kangaroos than emus. You see them around a bit, but yeah, emus are sort of more. They stay a lot more rural. You don't really see them in like going through towns and cities, like really at all.
Yeah,
they very much stay.
Since they are a very very big bird, are they eatable?
Are they eatable? Yes. But they're a very tough meat. You sort of have to slow cook them, basically. Yeah.
So is this similar to ostrich? Or like?
Well, I never tried ostrich.
Yeah, I heard like ostrich actually can be eaten. I was like, wait, what? I don't think. I think like one leg is enough for like 3 family for ostrich.
There's not that much meat, honestly. You'd be surprised at just how much that like body and that like big bulk upper layer is feathers and just.
Yeah, that's why like the only place that can be eaten is just a leg. Yeah. So like we will delve into like more into the emu. Actually, it's more into the war of the emu. We will go to a watch along on the video, which is like very short, 10-minute long. Don't worry, we can pause in between and then we'll talk about it. And this video is actually made by Oversimplified and is very entertaining. They actually made a lot of historical like mini war stuff too. Actually, there's like one war.
Excellent channel.
Yeah, there's like one war. It's about like Canada and America, like back in the days. I think it's after Civil War or something, or World War One.
Yeah, it would have been after the War of Independence, the War of 1812.
Yeah, and then they almost start like a big war because of a pig. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was on the other side. Yeah, that was over in the.
Yeah, like they have like a land dispute, and then someone shot someone pig, and then it become like a war standoff. Like not like normal standoff. It's like literally army, both sides standoff in an island, staring at each other.
A very dumb war, that one. Well.
Yeah, and it's because of the pig too.
Conflict, I suppose.
I bet it's Kura doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Kura spreading chaos in the land of Earth way before. Okay, let's try to like watch this video. Anyone watched this before?
Nope.
Nope.
I might have at some point. How long did this one come out? I don't remember.
It's like 5 years ago.
Yeah, there's a good chance I've watched it, but just not in a while.
Yeah, if anyone want to like watch it, remember I did put it in the description. You guys can come and click and watch it on your own too. But we will be starting in here.
This is Australia. For the man who imagines being strangled by a tarantula while a kangaroo breaks his kneecaps and thinks, yes please. For the man who pictures himself being eaten by a snake in the burning outback while eating a Vegemite sandwich and thinks, yes please.
So is it true for the allegation of this?
I've heard.
I mean like the kangaroo part.
Oh, hang on. I need to. I missed sort of the start of this. I need to go back.
Like here's the part that is this.
For the man who imagines being strangled by a tarantula while a kangaroo breaks his kneecaps and thinks,
sorry,
yes,
I'm just organized on my end.
For the man who pictures himself being eaten by a snake in the burning outback while eating a Vegemite sandwich and thinks, yes, please. And then
Yeah. Also, it's actually in the screen share I made it, so you guys can sort of like watch it from there too.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Actually, that makes way more sense. Let me do that, and I'll just make sure it's turned up. Okay.
Is Australia. For the man who imagines being strangled by a tarantula while a kangaroo breaks his kneecaps and thinks, yes, please. For the man who pictures himself being eaten by a snake in the burning outback while eating a Vegemite sandwich and thinks, yes, please. And that man was Governor Arthur Phillip, who landed in Eastern Australia in 1788, presumably saw a dingo being eaten by a crocodile, being eaten by a death adder, being eaten by a koala, being eaten by Mel Gibson, and thought to himself, yes.
So yes. So is that allegation is true? Anything of those things happen actually in Australia?
They put the koala in there.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen a koala do that. But
Maybe a drop bear, not a koala.
True, drop. Actually, you're right. That probably is just a drop bear in disguise. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a joke that I always heard that koala actually is a very vicious animal. I was like, what?
Kinda. I mean, most of the ones that you would see in like a zoo or anything like that are very docile.
Yeah, they're pretty chill.
But if you ever like tried to pick one up in the wild, you would be in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, I heard like actually you like people go into a forest, they have to like beware of falling koala, because like sometimes koala can fall from tree, and then if they landed on you, you will also having a rude awakening if that happened.
Very true. Very true. The infamous drop bear.
Yeah, it's like somewhat of an ambush predator by accident.
Yeah, well, do we know if it's intentional or not? Who knows? Who knows what drop bears?
Not sure. Next time you need to see they wearing any bandana or not. Bandana and biting like a bayonet like knife.
What about bonsai isn't in
Yes.
koala?
Good. Now I know what you're thinking, but oversimplified, the British didn't discover Australia, the Vikings did.
Yeah, this is why I need take next time.
I'm not sure why you think that. But hey, if you love Vikings so much, then why don't you check out today's sponsor? Vikings War of Clans was inspired by the PC strategy.
Well, it's that video. We need to see it.
Wait, who's like
Like
Vikings?
Age of Empires and Civilization. If you, like me, want to relive those memories again with a new experience, then this mobile game is...
Actually, Viking did like explore lots of places, but not enough with like the Chinese one. That's like I remember like
evolves by never-ending fighting,
the Inuit from Chinese Inuit. He start like
by downloading Vikings for free. My links in the description box below.
expeditions. Actually, they explore the world first,
protective shield.
and then Viking. Yeah,
Bye. Man, this is great.
in the ancient history.
Forever. But what if it doesn't? Oh crap! I never thought of
I
that.
understand if they saw Australia and went, no.
And the stock market crashed, which led to economic downturn.
Yeah, they've been to Australia
I couldn't
before.
lend anyone any money, which led to more economic downturn, which meant everyone stopped buying stuff, which led to more economic downturn. And hey, what if all the crops in the Great Plains were destroyed in a drought, and then a big dust storm engulfed the area? That's right, more economic downturn. And in an effort to combat the crisis, America began imposing tariffs on foreign imports, which made the economic downturn go global, and the Earth got really depressed. But one nation that was hit harder than most by the whole affair, Australia. The problem for Australia was that it relied heavily on its export industries, and in the current economic climate, no one was buying. To make things worse, Australia had introduced its own currency and pegged it onto the gold standard via the British pound, but then the UK started messing with its own peg on the gold standard, and if this is starting to sound confusing, then let me oversimplify it for you. Hey UK, looks like my car's broken down. Want to give me a tow? No problem, friend. I got you. More economic downturn.
But to be honest, like they say, like they used to Australian dollar used to connect it to pound, but now look at pound and look at like Australian dollar, it's like pale in comparisons. Like half difference, right?
Yeah, a pound's like $2 Australian, or has been at least close to that for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, they unhook it like really fast. All right, let's keep going.
The point I'm trying to make is things weren't good, and in particular, it was Australia's farmers that were suffering most. After the First World War, Australia had given returning veterans land for farming, but with the current economic crisis, the farmers just weren't making enough money, and many left to go find work in the cities.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So like this actually happened after the First World War.
Yeah.
So the war actually back then they're using the First World War equipment for it, and it's the outdated First World War equipment.
Yeah, well, no one really had any money to no one wanted to really invest in another war or anything like that. Like it was sort of just
No way. Nowadays, you guys can technically order airstrike on Emu if you want to start another war. Just literally.
I didn't think we had planes. I don't think Australia had like an air force yet at that point, but
just held out with the thing.
But for those who remained, things were about to get even worse. Before we get into that, it's time for some cultural exchange. My national bird is the bald eagle. It's a strong patriotic symbol of America and a deeply valued and protected species. My national bird is the peafowl. It's a beautiful creature whose vivid colors represent
Isn't it
India,
called peacock?
so we list it as a protected species. My national bird is the emu, and it's a pest. Also bloody delicious. Emus, 6 feet tall, 90 to 120 pounds, and able to run at speeds up to 40 miles per hour, usually return to the coast after their breeding season, but suddenly they found Western Australia full of lush, wet farmland. Oh my, look at all this delicious wheat that just so happens to be growing here in large quantities. Hey guys, get a load of this, you know? My, look at all this Hey, who left this big hole in the fence? Guys, get a load of this. Oh wow.
Well, technically, you guys have two kind of pests.
good thing rabbits taste
What a
good.
lovely morning for some fun.
I thought they taste
Those
bland.
emus, they have it in for me. They're bullies. They're nothing but bullies. Calm down, Bruce. They're just animals. It's not personal. Hey, Farmer Bruce, where did you find that hat? The toilet? Yes. 20,000 emus cost the already struggling farmers millions more pounds in lost crops and damages. The situation couldn't continue like this. Something had to be done. So in 1932, the farmers turned to the government for help. You'd think they'd go to the Minister of Agriculture, but these farmers said no. This is a job for the military. So they went to George Pierce, the Minister of Defense. That's right. Australia was to go to war with the emus.
Now, to make this clear, I think there is actually an explanation for this. Like again, like most farmer, like I can say all farmer around that time is a war veteran. So
Or at least a lot of them. Like not all of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Landowners.
so they end up like in a sense like the government like process is going to be slow, so that they would just like go for the closest connection they have. So would just straight up go to a general.
But not everyone was happy with the idea. This is barbaric. We can't go slaughtering thousands of our own national bird. Oh, come on, guys. The machine guns will make it quick and painless. Machine guns? You're using machine guns? This is animal cruelty. Look, I know it's unusual, but it's not like we're poachers turning the birds into feather hats. Think of the benefits. It'll be good target practice for our boys. The government can show it took action. Plus, I can get myself a nice new feather hat. Did I say feather hat? I meant I want to gather chat with you about getting you all some nice new feather hats. Did I say feather hats? I meant I want to wage terror at these emus and turn them all into feather hats. Damn it! Of course, Pierce first made the farmers sign an agreement saying that they would pay for the whole thing and that Pierce wouldn't take any of the blame if the operation, that was clearly very stupid, turned out to indeed be stupid, and the operation went ahead. Major G.P.W. Meredith and his men were sent with 2 Lewis machine guns to hunt down and take out the evil emu population in Western Australia. Target spotted. Well, was it an emu? No, sir. It's an emo. Damn it, Jones. Learn your vowels. I'm sorry. Okay.
Shot the wrong one.
Humans are coming.
Another Red Brothers.
But check this out. I've come up with an amazing plan. See if you can follow me here, okay? When they approach, we run away. Sir? You're a genius. Pierce sent a camera crew along.
Yeah, this like mentioned like they're actually much more like skittish. They like to like run away when people approach them.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow it become like a very good war tactic.
Yeah, combined with how fast they are and
Actually,
how tough they are, which we will see.
there's two great battle. It's also using like a retreat tactic to win. One is like war against like Alexander. I forgot in where. Like Alexander is like very great at like war tactic and stuff, so he just like beat up like everyone. And then they realized that one tactic that Alexander cannot like handle is like because like the war on attritions, because like Alexander is like do things like very lightning fast, strike fast, and then they won't like use too much resources. So if they just keep retreating, Alexander need to chase them. So they end up like lost like the war attrition, and then like lost at the end of the like his era. Same with like Napoleon. Yeah, it happens to Napoleon too.
Yeah, in the Russian campaign, the Russians just kept sort of like hit and run tactics, basically.
Yeah, so like the war attritions is always like the one that win. They keep like retreating. So Emu somehow also use the same ass thing, and then they win the war.
You're a genius. Pierce sent a camera crew along with the machine gunners to capture some good old propaganda for the government, and the first battle took place in November at Campion. The men spotted a mob of emus from a distance, so they set up their guns and opened fire. The emus split up into smaller groups and ran in every direction. The men were only able to kill what they called a number of birds, but the vast majority got away. Cut! Surprisingly, many of the emus were able to take multiple bullets, but still run at full speed to safety, causing Meredith to compare them to tanks, saying if we had a military division with the bullet-carrying capacity of these birds, it would face any army in the world. Okay, we need to get closer. No, you idiots, not to me, to the emus. Oh, sorry. No. I like it. So next, they tried sneaking up on a large number of emus near a local dam and firing at short range. Maybe the men were just unlucky, but my professional opinion says the emus were magic, because both guns jammed after just 12 emus were killed, and once again, the rest got away.
Magic.
Yeah. Emu actually, not emu side, but guns back then are very easily jammed. Like even nowadays, they still can jam. But back then, it's like the failure point is like super high, especially on machine gun.
Well, the Lewis gun was a very different design at that time. So that was, it's not like a belt-fed machine gun. The Lewis gun has a big dish on top of it, and it feeds bullets down from like a dish on top. Kind of like there's a Russian gun that's very well known for it, the like DP-28 or 27.
Ooh, we have a gun nut here.
Not as reliable as
Got away. Cut!
But to be honest, like they actually use like film a lot of like this kind of things happening. So like it would be like a very, I won't say documentary. Remember like History Channel always like have this like weird ass shows like, Duck Hunter or something like that,
I wonder if any of that footage exists still. I've never really
Like
looked into
they like have like so many like non-history related show like like the Duck Dynasty thingy or like the pawn shop, And then I was like thinking, why don't they just take this like emu footage and then just make it into like a multiple series documentary? That would be much more accurate. It's history.
True.
The men were feeling a little humiliated.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's one of those channels that really fell into the. Had some weird stuff on it. Didn't really make a lot of sense.
The men were feeling a little humiliated after losing to a pack of discount ostriches, so they decided to move further south where the emus were said to be tamer. And this time, they had a new strategy. Okay, Jones, here's the plan. You mount the machine gun in the back, I'll chase the emus, You shoot. Got it? Got it. I'm gonna shove that camera up your... The operation was a fiasco, and the press had a field day. In Parliament, Pierce was lambasted, and an opposition party member suggested that medals should be handed out to the emus, who had won every round so far. Pierce, feeling quite humiliated, called the operation off, but 4 days later the farmers approached again and said, "Hey man, the emus are still eating all our crops. Can you send the army back out here?" And Pierce was like, "Yeah, okay." So the operation was back on for round 2. And this time Meredith and his men had learned the emus' guerrilla tactics and were much more successful, with reports suggesting the men were cutting down 300 emus every week. I hope you boys are getting great footage of this. What on earth are you filming? Despite the success, the media had lost interest in the program. But with 1,000 emus killed, Pierce finally ended the operation and returned to Parliament declaring victory for the humans. So there were 20,000 emus out there destroying crops, and you've killed 1,000. Meaning there's still 19,000 emus out there. Yep. And in addition, you've burned through 10,000 rounds of ammunition. Meaning you wasted 10 rounds per confirmed kill. That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call this one for the emus. At least I got a feather hat. What? So in the end, the emus won the Great Emu War of 1932, and the emus continued to wreak havoc on the farmers for years to come. The government introduced a bounty system, which saw some success, but for a moment, let's take some time to remember the brave men who said goodbye to their families and risked their lives to take on the great, evil emu population in Western Australia. But even more importantly, let's think of the friends they made, the bond they created, and the memories they shared.
Take me home to golden fields and
Imagine there's an actual casualty, like, having, like, this emu war.
Oh man, what a disaster that would be.
Like, I think, like, if there's actual casualty, I think they won't joke it that much.
I solved the emu crisis. Really? How? I just made some better fences.
Yeah, it's actually, like, literally have a better fence. Prevent the emu.
It's sort of like an easier said than done thing. Like yeah, the better fences do work, but they need to be quite high, which has its own.
Actually, can emu jump?
They can, but it's not so much. Well, it's not so much jumping. So if you have, I mean, I guess if you look at our fences in like most properties out back,
It's only like a waist high.
a meter tall, pretty much, and it'll be like that mesh for the first bit, and then there'll be like 2 layers of barbed wire on top. And because the emus can just sort of shrug it off, they will just go through the fence, and it'll be like just like through the barbed wire basically. They'll go between the layers, between the fence and the barbed wire.
Well, they can tank bullets, so barbed wire is not a big thing for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, they just, like, you see emu feathers like stuck to barbed wire everywhere.
Are they still like
Like animal
terrorizing the farmland?
was trying to get through. Not. I don't think it's to the same degree. I feel like we'd know. It's definitely not on the same level.
Yeah, I think back then they actually like using wood plank to block them. And then nowadays, like they have like electric barbed wire, this and that, yada yada stuff. They're supposed to be able to block them a bit, unless they also like electricity like resistance. That would be
To a degree, it
scary.
probably would be. I mean, I don't know how much so, but at least you'd probably need electric fences that are meant to stop cattle and things like that, like pretty heavy ones, horses and stuff.
Okay, that will be a sort of like a thing that happened like with an emu war then, and we learned quite a lot about emu. They can actually not just tank bullet. And that's the thing, like, do you guys know like a very like terrifying cousin of emu? It's blue in colors. Do you guys know the name of it?
I'm not sure.
That will be the special guest of the stream to sort of like study about. And if you guys don't know about it, welcome to the cassowary. Have you seen this bird before?
Oh. I certainly know of them. I don't know if I've seen them around.
Actually,
They're not native to this area.
they are not native to this area, but Australia have I don't know how they manage to migrate to Australia, but it definitely have in here. You can see it in this area.
There was a land bridge. You originally, at least thousands and thousands of years ago, you could walk across from Papua New Guinea to like the northern tip of Australia.
So yeah, this is like more or less like slight confirmed that they were actual dinosaur. Because like cassowary is actually not just look menacingly, they kind of like have like a leg that is basically if you just look at the leg itself, it seems like an actual dinosaur leg. If you go to like a diner, it's literally called like dino diner, and then they serve cassowary leg and just say this is a dinosaur leg, you guys would actually believe like that is an actual dinosaur. So this is like an image of like a cassowary, and then you look at this is emu.
Yeah, it's like short emus.
Yeah, the shorter kind of emu. And then look at cassowary.
More colorful too.
I was like, holy shit, look at the
Makes
leg.
sense for the tropical region.
Look at the leg itself.
It's very similar to the emus.
I know, but the
Also,
thickness you can
especially
see, like,
size.
it's very raptor-like. If you ever see like a raptor claw before.
That's what I was searching up. I'm like, what's that dinosaur? Reminds me of it.
Yeah.
Yes, really. They are like, it's already known that their claw is actually very raptor-like, and then they are actually trying to trace like the origin of like, since like dinosaur is like the descendants of like raptor, so it's kind of like they are the closest relative to raptor actually.
Yeah, that we still have today anyway. Yeah. That does seem to be the case.
Yeah, and then
I'm
like
curious where that goes.
there's something like, here's the thing, like even like Steve Irwin tackled with like cassowary before. The first thing he do is turn around and run away.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, imagine this, like he let spider and crocodile attack him, but he see cassowary turn around and run away. So
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess it's like a completely different approach.
yeah, that is actually showing like a
crazy in the first place.
yeah, it's like it shows like in the documentary that he filmed. It's one of blooper or something, I forgot. Like it's actually like in there, and then he see like cassowary start charging him. First thing he do is like turn around, run, and then jump over the fence. Like even he doesn't want to tackle with the cassowary. And then the dangerous thing about cassowary is actually their claw. Well, already like highlighted, but there's actually only like one known casualty, a person that killed by a cassowary. Only one. The entire history. And the reason why it happened, because that guy tried to basically fight the cassowary.
Yeah, that's not very smart. Though it is kind of surprising. I would imagine cassowaries similar to emus in that they would.
Yeah, they would. They are territorial on mating seasons, but generally they are kind of skittish. But here's the thing, like that thing that at least we learn one thing: if you try to fight cassowary, you are going to end up very bad.
Yeah, those claws. You don't mess with those.
Like here's like a small documentary, you can come and look at it.
Cassowaries have earned themselves a vicious reputation, in part due to their steely gaze, impressive claws, which I'll go more
Like here you can see like this is their claw. They can stab the shit out of you.
Is it like everything
later,
that happens in
and their
countries
large
is true?
size, but
Yeah.
mostly due to the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see like the size of cassowary. And that they technically are slowly, it's like a unknown thing, they're starting to slowly not afraid of human. So back in the days, they kind of like always skittish. Like the moment they see human, they run away. Nowadays, they actually like slowly like approaching like human civilizations. You can sort of see them like in some neighborhood and stuff like that. They're
I
getting
guess that makes sense. I'd say like the human population has gotten less aggressive.
yeah, because they starting to get more bold. They are people legitimately are afraid of them anymore. Starting to.
But mostly due to the headline-driven world of the internet. I mean, who wouldn't click on a link like, this cassowary can kill you? I mean, you did. That's not to say that cassowaries aren't dangerous. They are. But they're not the killers you are looking for. Hi, I'm Danielle Defoe, and you're watching Animal Logic. Cassowaries are the second heaviest flightless birds, bested only by the ostrich. Damn ostriches! Unlike their relatives, the emu and the aforementioned ostrich, they don't live in open territory, but rather in the dense forests of northern Australia and Papua New Guinea. They gained internet popularity with the release of the 2012 game Far Cry 3, a game in which you get caught on a tropical island, some plot stuff happens, and you turn to hunting endangered animals to craft things, like weapon holsters. You can hunt critically endangered Sumatran tigers, threaten Komodo dragons, and
Far
threaten
Cry.
endangered cassowaries.
Headshot.
Somehow, you're the good guy? Also, not to get sidetracked, but I mapped the ranges of all the animals in Far Cry 3, and sadly, none of them overlap in the drastic way that they do on the island featured in the game. There are 3 types of cassowaries. The southern cassowary is the most common and the biggest. It's also known as the double-wattled cassowary and can be found in southern New Guinea, Australia, and the Aru Islands. The northern cassowary is slightly smaller and only has a single wattle. A wattle is the red, you know what it looks like, thing dangling from its throat. Finally, the dwarf cassowary is the smallest of the 3 and can be found in New Guinea, New Britain, and Japan.
Yeah, funny thing is about like when I tried to like, research about like cassowary, they mentioned about New Britain. I was like, wait, in Britain? And then I tried to take a look at it. Actually, New Britain is not Britain.
No.
And I was like, wait, what?
One group of islands, I guess.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh shit, my geography is like very bad. I can't even notice.
Remnants of the colonization. So that was originally New Britain was German territory, and then they took it off them after World War One. Yeah.
The southern cassowary, fully grown, can reach 6 feet or 1.8 meters tall, which I'll remind you is 6 inches or 15 centimeters taller than Tom Cruise. Probably their most impressive feature is their deadly razor
Using Tom Cruise to compare the height.
One on each of their 3-toed feet. The claws are used for self-defense and can reach up to 5 inches or 12 centimeters long.
It's long. It's like a standard knife length.
Yeah.
They kick up their powerful legs to slice open any predator that dare approach. That, or they use them for digging up fallen fruit. Not as badass. Still useful. Behind that kick is some serious strength. They have legs that can carry them up to 30 miles or 50 kilometers an hour, which if you're chucking is faster than Usain Bolt. And probably Tom Cruise. Not only that, but they can jump 7 feet or 2 meters straight up in the air, despite their fearsome ability.
Yeah, this is why I asked like, can emu actually jump? Because this guy can jump.
Yeah. They definitely can. I'm not sure like to what degree, but they can.
Have you seen emu jump before?
Not much. Like I've seen them try to like jump through a fence, but that's not very high. I've never seen them actually like completely jump over and clear a fence or anything. So like I wouldn't say I've ever seen one jump more than like a meter high, I guess.
Cassowary, I think like if this is their record height, they can definitely jump across like the fence if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And they are the second heaviest bird compared to ostrich too.
Yeah, they seem a bit thicker.
Yeah, the leg, I think it's just the leg.
Despite their fearsome abilities, their diet is made up primarily of fruit and fungus. They eat around 5 kilos or 11 pounds of fruit every single
Yeah, they sold entire mango.
seeded fruit.
I was like,
This has
what?
made them a very important part of their ecosystem, since they are one of the few animals able to eat large seeded fruit, like the cassowary plum, and since they eat so much of it, they are able to spread the seeds, often only
Is that fruit edible? Cassowary plum, I mean.
I've never heard of it, so I have no idea.
Yeah, no idea. Yeah.
I guess like now you guys like have a new fruit to so like search around maybe next time, see like is this edible, and then try it. Let me know about it. No, maybe it's tasty.
partially digested incredibly well through their poops. Their massive poops. All cassowaries sport a wicked dino-looking head casque, which is made out of a spongy material and covered in a thick layer of keratin. Like many features of this mysterious bird, the casque's exact purpose isn't known, but best guesses are that it's used as a sign of dominance and age. And just to be clear here, not only do these guys look like dinosaurs, they are dinosaurs. They're
Try to hear it.
like chickens or, say, T-Rex or Velociraptor. They are really good swimmers and have a call that matches their dino-like appearance.
Yeah, this is cassowary
Oh
call.
my god.
This deep, scary, low rumble.
Imagine like in the middle of the night you just go across the road and then hear this.
It's possible that their head casque helps create the boom, in similar fashion to how the hornbill uses its casque to make its unique call.
Hey, Malaysian bird.
Courting and mating occurs for about a month, and after laying the eggs, the female takes off, leaving a single dad to incubate the eggs and raise the young. Baby cassowaries, by the way, are adorable and incredibly playful. They follow dad around for around 9 months, copying everything he does. They're even known to play the cutest game of hide and seek that you've ever seen. Once they're old enough, Dad will kick them out of the house and find another female to start the whole process over again. Females, on the other hand, will mother several families at once, and if she runs into her young, she'll attack them. Mama don't care. If two males run into each other, they'll fluff themselves up and rumble at each other until one of them backs off and leaves. But if a female shows up to the party, all she has to do is look at a male to send him running. When not racing young, despite what Far Cry 3 might have you believe with their hordes of cassowaries, cassowaries are solitary animals. They live in loosely defined territories and will usually only leave those territories when looking for a mate. Cassowaries are known to be a vicious creature by locals, and this sentiment has been further compounded by the general internet community. But since 1926, there has only been one human death by cassowary, and that was by someone who was trying to kill the cassowary.
See? It's not like they're not dangerous. They are dangerous. Just nobody wants to fucks with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Like the known record of somebody tried to fuck with it, died. The only guy tried to mess with it, died. Of course nobody tried to mess with them.
Compare that to the 300 elephant-related deaths a year in India, or 28 dog-related deaths in the US, and cassowaries are looking pretty peachy. What animal should I check out next? Please let me know in the comments.
Yeah, speaking about like cassowary looks like dinosaur. So like raptor, T-Rex, those kind of similar species of dinosaur, they end up evolving into bird, right? And it's a funny thing that pterodactyl is not in the list.
it's not in what list?
It's not in the. They never have like a descendants like that. Raptor to like chicken stuff like that. You know. Technically, like the closest relative to raptor is actually a turkey. Yeah, turkey. Turkey is a raptor. So like every like bird, they kind of like have like somewhat of a descendant link from dinosaur, but pterodactyl is not one of them. they are a completely separate species with like the land dinosaur, and they are the one who dominate the sky. So a lot of people always thought like maybe if they like evolve into chicken, maybe like pterodactyl is the one that evolved into like some sort of other like flying bird. Actually, no, they just like completely extinct.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing. Like they are the one that dominate the skies, but didn't end up evolve like into flying on the sky. And T-Rex does.
Like the extinction event that sort of caused everything to change. It does make you wonder how that impacted different types of species. I mean, it wiped out a lot. So it would be too surprising to know that pterodactyls were just completely wiped out by it effectively.
Yeah, I just feel sad. They doesn't even have like a very far away like descendant cousin like how like raptor and T-Rex does. Yeah, there's lots of like at least like one or two like surviving member from like the like even like way before the ancient era. Like imagine like dragonfly actually is like in the way before the dinosaur era. I forgot like which era it is again. Like it was like dominated by insect, and then dragonfly back then is literally the size of like a 7-year-old child T-posing charging at you.
Oh, I'm trying to remember what that era was called. It's the one before the Triassics. Triassics the first dinosaur one.
Yeah, the size of like dragonflies like exist like way before the time. And then do you guys know horseshoe crab?
Horseshoe crab?
Oh, let me try to search it. Maybe in here. Yeah, hold on. I don't want to display my search history. They are still exist, horseshoe crab. And then the moment you look at horseshoe crab, you immediately recognize one thing. And 3, 2, 1. Ta-da!
It does look very ancient in its own way. There's like a very like a traditional crab you would think of as like legged and with claws.
Yeah, they are actually. Remember, like back then, you see like the trilobite like fossil. Yeah, they are one of them.
Huh.
Like the shell-like thingy. You can see like in the Pokemon one too. Like one of the fossil Pokemon.
I mean, look at some of these images. I can see the resemblance.
Yeah, they are actually the same species, and then they survived this long. Of course, like similar with like the ancient like the fish they found out like been living like even way before dinosaur era. They even like found those fish. Like I say, like there's lots of like species always like manage to survive that long. I just felt sad that pterodactyl never really like survived that long.
Yeah, it sort of only had 2 eras, right? It was Jurassic Cretaceous, I think.
Yeah. Just feel sad for them.
In its line.
Well, but also at the end, like it's already been like how long? Almost 1 hour of documentary that we've always been studying, and this is actually quite a interesting journey for us to keep jumping onto. Usually, I just like do whatever that I find. I see like, oh, today I might talk about like sea trash or something. So I keep like going on drifting about like different like sea stuff, sea pollution stuff. Or sometimes I talk about like rocket science. Sometimes I talk about some very weird like culture stuff. Generally, this is what my sort of like education show is. So this is the first time I have like a topic, and then want to like keep on like like maintain on that topic. So this time is a little bit history, a little bit like animal biology, this and that. So yeah, and I really do appreciate that you guys are coming, so I can give some input about like this kind of things.
Yeah, happy to be here. I love history stuff, especially with the wars. So always, if you're ever doing any other oversimplifieds or something similar, please let me know. Love these.
Yeah. I also do like quite a lot of different type of like science stuff too. Actually, you guys can sort of like suggest like maybe like sometimes like, oh, I have like this I want to like talk about, want to like do this together. I can actually be in with it. I already have this stage like ready, so like it's easy to talk about stuff.
Sounds good.
Yeah, even like sometimes we can talk about the games we like, this and that stuff. This is basically is like a very small-ish scale kind of like talk show. Maybe like in the future, I also like want to do like some sort of like one-to-one interview thingy. You know, it's like how people like do a re-debut. Like usually like people like do like those kind of debut stream, they talk about themselves, like it's just like they talking to themselves, right? They have to like plan things out. So this one is more like I'm there, I'm your wingman, I'll ask question, you do the answering. I think
I always like the idea of doing those, but it's I'm too nervous about it. I'm too shy.
yeah, like I actually like I want to support like how people like manage to like get out from that. You know, like I kind of like want to do this thing to go me.
That would be good.
Yeah, just joking, but yeah, if you guys anytime like want to like try to do this like this like interview idea too, you can give me a call. I can like set up for you guys.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, that'll be all. But since like it will be the end of the stream, I'll show this part again, in the honor of the Emu War.
This is Australia. For the man who imagines being strangled by a tarantula while a kangaroo breaks his kneecaps and thinks, yes please. For the man who pictures himself being eaten by a snake in the burning outback while eating a Vegemite sandwich and thinks, yes please. And that man was Governor Arthur Phillip, who landed in Eastern Australia in 1788, presumably saw a dingo being eaten by a crocodile, being eaten by a death adder, being eaten by a koala, being eaten by Mel Gibson, and thought to himself, yes.
Yep, this will be the face that we'll be adding on. Well, he's the most historical figure in the Australian history.
True.
I can't argue that.
Well, he's definitely one of.
Yeah, maybe next time you guys want to share a bit of like Australian culture or like some certain like local culture stuff. You guys want to like can give me a call and then I'll just try to set up this thing again. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and as for everyone, stay healthy, stay safe. Until next time, stay tuned on the next stream or video.
Bye bye.
Bye.